Get your pitchforks ready because today I'm talking about body positivity and why I think that culture is so toxic and why I think that we should basically do away with it. This is going to be one that you're either going to hate it or love it, but you're going to feel some kind of way. So before I get started on this, I do want to recognize the good intentions of the body positivity movement. I think that it was something that started with the best of intentions to fight back against society's impossible beauty standards. But somewhere along the way, we got lost. It gave people permission to not strive to be healthy and not strive for better. And while in some good ways, it gave people to show up as who they are without shame, without feeling bad at where they were in their journey. It also gave us this sense of security and acceptance in being unhealthy. And I think body positivity is good in the sense that you can be positive about where you are in your journey, but you're still striving to be better. Like I'm always striving, even at my goal weight, to better myself and better my body, whether that be in the gym, building muscle, whether it be trying to work on looking more fit or more toned, or, just improving my muscle mass and longevity and my health overall. I think that that is good. And there are good aspects to body positivity if you are still trying to be better. We should always be striving for more. Sometimes I think that it turns toxic in the sense that it normalizes unhealthy habits. And you'll see some people who are severely overweight and they're like, I'm just happy where I am. I think I'm beautiful and I think I'm all these things. And that is fine. I'm so happy that people are confident and think that they're beautiful. And it's not about beauty though. It's about health standards. And you may have perfect blood work now, but it's not always going to be that way. You can't be morbidly obese for years and years and years and that not take a toll on your physical health and mental health. Because sometimes I think that body positivity is just us lying to ourselves about where we are. Again, I don't want to come off as, you can't be happy if you're not a healthy weight, because you can. And you can be proud of yourself for the work that you're doing and the work that you've done. But I think where toxicity comes in is when it encourages unhealthy habits, when it encourages stagnation instead of growth, and it makes people feel stuck. And being openly positive about where you are and saying that you don't need to change anything when, your health is going to eventually fail, you're giving other people an excuse not to work on themselves too. And to me, that's toxic. So let's talk a little bit more about it, and I'll give you some of the things that I think could be better about it and some of the things that I think are pretty damn toxic. Let's talk about health versus complacency. I didn't choose a GLP-1 because I hated my body only. I didn't like my body when I was overweight. And I think a lot of us, if we're honest with ourselves, would say that. I think that there are some people who are okay with their body overweight, but I feel like that's few and far between. However, I chose a GLP-1 because I liked myself. I wanted to love myself, and I wanted to love myself enough to want better health for myself. I loved my child enough to want a healthy mother for him. I think that health versus complacency is such a fine line when you're talking about the body positivity movement, because it's like you're choosing to be unhealthy because you have this built-in excuse that, oh, I love myself where I'm at. I'm not going to try to do anything more. And I just think that gives you this sense of false empowerment almost. And sometimes that message becomes, don't change. You're perfect the way that you are. And if I would have taken that approach, I would still be on high blood pressure medication. I would still have IBS problems. I would still be dealing with massive inflammation, more so than I am now. My arthritis pain would still be worse. I would still be getting out of breath walking upstairs. I still would constantly be tired and exhausted and not wanting to go places because I didn't like my clothes or the way that they looked on me. I would be doing so many things that were a disservice to me as a person and who I could be if I were just body positive and not wanting to ever be better. Again, let me reemphasize, you can be positive about your body throughout your journey to better health. So please don't say that I'm like, oh, you can't love yourself if you're fat, because that is not what I'm saying. That is not what I'm saying. I was so happy with my progress when I was still overweight. I was on the BMI charts overweight, and I was like, I'm looking good. And I really believed that, and that's okay. But I still wanted to look better. I still wanted to be better. I still wanted off my blood pressure medication. I still wanted to be able to run and walk without pain. So yes, you can be body positive when it doesn't verge on just complete complacency and stagnation. Another thing about body positivity, I feel like we can get in this external validation trap almost. And what I mean by that is sometimes radical acceptance is what gets the most views and likes, because a lot of us can't understand it. And I feel like it's one of those things when you're like trying to understand something and you want that for yourself, or you're like, man, I wish I could wear that, or I wish I could feel that way about myself. But a lot of times it's a facade. A lot of times the person really doesn't feel that way. And I want to bring up Lizzo, okay? I am not like a big Lizzo fan or anything. I do like some of her music, but she was one of the body positivity people, and people loved that about her. They loved that she would wear whatever and do whatever and seemingly was happy with herself. But then the second that she started doing better and the second that she started losing weight, it was like everybody hated her for it. And they hated her for it because she's no longer body positive because she wants better health. And that is just wild to me. Mind blowing that because somebody is taking care of themselves and someone is wanting better for themselves, that they're all of a sudden no longer body positive. And body positivity doesn't mean that you have to accept everything that is unhealthy about yourself. It means that you can still love yourself while getting better. And I think that Lizzo is a great example of how external validation is great. Everybody loves her because she's so positive and she's a role model for overweight people and all of these other things. And then her progress posts are consistently attacked because she decided to get healthy. I've experienced this firsthand. I get censorship and pushback all the time. I have people telling me on some of my reels that I looked better before and that I have Ozempic face now and all of these crazy things that I really don't care about, in the sense that I'm healthier now. I'm more confident. I feel better. And I'm healthier now at 40 than I was at 25. And I feel like that says so much about this body positivity and how it's toxic. Like, how could anybody look at me at 5'5" and 222 pounds and say you were better before? It's just not true. And I feel like that hurts people's feelings, but facts shouldn't hurt your feelings. And this is that tough love Jasmine coming out, where I feel like people are going to bring their pitchforks. But the fact of the matter is I am healthier now than I was at 222 pounds. And could I still love myself at 222 pounds? Yes. Did I? Not really. But I'm definitely healthier now. And I'm not opposing overweight people just because I'm no longer overweight. People tend to take the body positivity movement as in, like, back to Lizzo, she lost weight. She's no longer one of them. She's no longer one of the body positivity big people anymore. She can't be in their club. Which, I mean, if that's how it is, that's a club I don't want to be in. It's toxic as hell. And nobody will ever tell me different. And if you feel differently about it, you have every right to feel that way, but you're wrong. You're wrong. So I also think that balance is important and not extremes. This isn't about body shaming people who are overweight into wanting to be better, or it's about toxic positivity. Just to finish up, I want to talk about personal empowerment. And real personal empowerment is making choices that give you energy, that improve your longevity, that build confidence, that overall improve your health and wellness and well-being mentally and physically. For me, that has been weight loss. That has been strength training. That has been nutrition. That has been staying on my GLP-1 journey. Body positivity without health, stagnation, okay? That's what it is. Loving yourself means giving your body the chance to thrive. It means not just surviving. It's choosing your journey out of strength, from a place of strength, and not shame. I chose to love myself throughout my journey out of love for my future, out of love for my family and my child, and out of self-respect. And that is what I want for you too. So while body positivity is great with movement toward healthier goals, it is toxic if you have no desire to be better. No matter what it is in our lives that we are doing, being better than we were yesterday, last month, last year, 5 seconds ago should always be the goal. And if it's not, you're doing it wrong. That's all I have for this episode. Don't hate me too much in the comments.